So, bro, this was such a dope conversation, man. I kind of feel like when it means the idea of being a man,
Mm.
I kind of feel like we should wrap it up in a way that we kind of give the people hope and inspiration. And so I'm gonna go first, and then I'll let you chime in, bro. And so
Hmm.
this idea for me, man, when I think about kind of this phrase T4, TFAR, we as Black men, as men, have to start controlling our thoughts, man. We have to get to the process to where the thoughts that we are receiving for ourselves, the thoughts that we are getting from other positive men who are positively role modeling what it means to be a man, what it means to be healthy, what does it mean to be whole, what does it mean to be vulnerable. And so I kind of have this idea of those positive thoughts turned into feelings. Oh my gosh, I have to be vulnerable because that's what a man is. And it's not this negative kind of innuendo of negative phrase. It's no, I have to be vulnerable because vulnerability may save my life. Vulnerability might help me reach and unlock the next level of where God is trying to take me. And so those thoughts turn into feelings and those feelings turn into actions. All right, so now I have to seek out mentorship. I have to seek out what it means to become a better person. I have to seek out knowledge. I have to change the content that I'm pouring into my spirit. So maybe I'm not listening to hip hop as much anymore, but I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm listening to spiritual books. I'm on YouTube, but I'm trying to find other positive role models or other men that are at least pouring out and pumping out content that gives me hope, that gives me, inspiration in a way that I can get to the R, which is results. I feel happy, I feel whole, I feel successful in those ways. It doesn't mean that we'll ever get to a space where we're perfect, but it means that you see the value and the necessity of being a man because you had to rewire your thoughts to then fight the good fight every day for yourself, to understand the value of what it means by you being able to model being a positive man, how that's going to be able to inspire the next generation of young people in a particular way. And so that then goes into the action to where every single day you're walking on purpose, you're being intentional about who you're surrounding yourself with, and that even if you're kicking it with the homies, even if you watching a football game, but at least 15 to 20 minutes is going to be carved out for iron sharpening iron and having real men talk. And then hopefully that result will then lead to you going from a boy to a man and to a mentor, and then that cycle continues to be pervasive. So that's kind of my ideology and my thought process of what young Black males need, and the agency in which we as men walking and fighting the good fight every day have to continue to own that so we can inspire the next generation. What would you say, brother?
Man, that's powerful. I would say for me, it's we do such a good job of telling young Black boys what not to be, right? And showing them images of Black men who are acting like boys, or Black men who are not being responsible, or Black men who are not doing things. And we need to do a lot better job of surrounding them with Black men who actually are, with other young kings who are actually on the same path and trying to move forward. And because we have to understand that more is caught than taught, right? So we can tell them and talk to them, but right now what they understand is they understand the road to failure. They just don't know the key to success, right? And with these keys, we have to understand that, as we talked about, that idea of that iron sharpening iron, when you actually see that, there are pieces of the iron getting taken off. So there are things that they're coming with that's not making them a good man, that's going to make them maybe a nice guy, that might make them a relatively a large boy, right? But the idea is that you have to become. In this process of becoming, they need to be able to see it. They need a blueprint of how to get there. And how we go about doing that is that we have to surround them, right? And make sure that when we say that being a man is meaningful, active, and necessary, we have to show them that it's necessary. We have to show them what success looks like. What does it look like to be a good man, to be responsible, to be accountable, to be reliable, right? And then show them the fruits of that, right? And have them understand that when you do, right? When we recently went over to the Harvard Job Corps and we talked to those young men, right? They want families, right? They want to serve. They want to be empowered. They want to be they want to have confidence, right? But we have to give them that sometimes. Sometimes they need the permission to have that, but sometimes they're in spaces where they don't see men that can go ahead and give them that permission to be great. Instead, they see men who are giving them permission, right, to be the opposite of that. And I think it's so important that we help them understand how they can define that and how they can then become that. And that's ultimately what's most important.